welcome. At some point, we're going to need a volunteer to pass a microphone around in case there are questions so that the people out in Zoom land and everybody else can hear it. So we have a volunteer. Thank you. And if you're out in Zoom land, you're automatically muted. So if you need to make a comment later, you can unmute. Do we have any first timers, any new members in the room? Yes. Would you like to tell us about yourself? Oh, wait, we're going to get a microphone and everything.
Hi, my name is Avi, N2AVI. Actually, I got my novice during 1999 through this club, and which turned into Technician Plus and then Technician. And January this year, I got my General at long last.
Congratulations.
Thank
and
you.
welcome. And I've seen your emails.
I live in Grace Lake, so it's a little hard for me to hit the network, the repeaters. I'll see if I can do something about it.
Okay. Welcome. Very nice. Anyone else? Any other new people? Anyone else? No? Okay. Anybody upgrade a license recently other than we've covered that. Okay. All righty. Our main presentation tonight is about an event that's coming up. I heard about, I don't know too much about it, something about getting out in the tents or something. Anyway, no, Field Day is coming up. One thing I did want to mention is that we have this really cool flyer on Harvey cardstock, and they're at the back table. We'd like you to take them and post them anywhere you can. Field Day is the one opportunity we get as a club to show the rest of the world what we can do. So this is an opportunity to invite your friends and neighbors. And with that, I'm going to turn this over. So who's going to do the presentation? Pointing in different directions. You can come up here if you'd like.
No, you should present.
Yeah, present it from the podium.
Yeah.
No, you can come up. Okay. Slides forward and backward.
All right.
Slides forward and backward. Oh, okay.
So welcome everyone. As most of you know, this month is Field Day month. So on the 27th and 28th, we'll be having Field Day at the Northfield Clarkson Park. And let me see if I can next loose. Long way. Yes, so most of you here probably heard about Field Day, but for all those new members here that are new to the club, new to the hobby, Field Day is like our, I would say probably our most popular event for the club. It is, okay? And it's an opportunity for all of us to come out and kind of basically operate our radars like in an emergency situation. Also a chance for us to talk to the community. So if you have your friends, family, your enemies, ask them to come to the park, learn about ham radio, get an opportunity to get on the air. They have never gone on the air before. And for those new members here or members who have never operated HF, it's an opportunity for you to work the GOTA station so you can actually get on the air and try operating HF. It's also an opportunity for you to kind of see how our members of the club perform on contesting. We have a sideband station, a CW station, two CW stations. We have a FT8 station this year? Or?
Well, two of our stations, the phone station and one of the CW stations is equipped.
Oh,
Sure. Yeah, the two of the stations, we operate 3A, which means three radios are running simultaneously. And A is the club station class. So that's one of the things we tell the other people they want to know from us. And of course, where our section is Illinois, which is easy. But one of the CW stations and the phone station are both equipped to be able to operate the digital mode FT8 for points.
Okay. And what kind of power are we running?
10,000 watts. Oh, we run 100 watts, which is the typical Field Day setup. So yeah.
Okay. And we're operating on battery, right? Or generator.
Well, we run on generators. This is a neat exercise because it's an encouragement, as Jay said, to take your station somewhere away from home and set it up and operate it. And it gives you a chance to learn how to do that if you ever had to do it in an emergency or something like that. But our stations are operated by generators, so.
Great, great.
Yeah.
And then also just for those that have never been, it's a good time to socialize with our other club members. So even though we don't have our members here today, but usually on field day, it brings people out of the cobwebs and you get to meet a lot of members that are normally not here on the Tuesdays when we have our club meetings. So I'd encourage you to come out, meet your other fellow club members. There'll be food, refreshments, opportunity to maybe meet people in the community and so forth. So it's a great opportunity to come out and socialize, and hopefully the weather will be great those 2 days. Just to give you an update on the field day status, we have most of the captain roles filled, but there's still 2 open captain spots. The next meeting for the captains, including the field day organizers, is June 16th. It's on Zoom, so you do not need to come here for that. Just to give you an idea of who are the core team members, we have Udo, who's sitting here in the front, Brian, myself, and Alwyn, who's, I think he's on vacation, but making his way back to the States, I think next week. So he wasn't able to present today. And like we said earlier, the dates are the 27 and 28, but setup is the Friday the
before.
26th, the day before. So if you'd like to get involved in some of the pre-setup and so forth for field day, if you sign up for some of the lists of openings as far as things we need for volunteers to help us in that day, can you come out on Friday? And even if you don't volunteer, you can come out Friday anyway and just kind of see exactly how we're setting the antennas and so forth. Don here will be here kind of throwing antennas in the sky, so he has an interesting device that allows him to shoot the antennas up in the trees. So you get an opportunity to see him work that.
Yeah.
I think Warren has a large slingshot or
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
clubs.
his club.
Well,
Okay.
it's who also has those things is the tree trimmer crews have these kind of things that Jay is talking about. The thing I have is basically a slingshot with a fishing reel on the end of it, and it works beautifully.
Although it doesn't do fly fishing, so it's kind of.
Oh, yeah, well, not for that, no.
So yeah, it'd be great if any of you interested in seeing how all this is set up, come out the day before. I think we'll be out there around 10 a.m. or about 12 o'clock, just kind of setting up. So I've done this twice, and now I'm kind of helping out with leading with Alwyn to kind of organize everything. And it was great just to see how this is all done because it's interesting. Dick, you have a question? That is a good question. So he said, what are the open captain spots? We have that in this presentation here. I don't have it in front of me, but when we get to that slide, we'll cover that question. Just to give you an idea of the venue and antennas, here's a map of the park, and we have some color coding here. So there's the antenna layout for the single sideband, which is shown in the black lines. So that kind of gives you a kind of idea of how we're laying these antennas out in the field. There's also the CW antennas that are also shown in black in the picture. We have the blue boxes where the cable ramps are. So those are those things that kind of play down on the ground so that we don't have any tripping hazards. The red lines represent the feed lines that are feeding to the antenna. The yellow lines show the ropes. So there are ropes that are used to secure some of those antennas. And then the blue stars show where the ground rods are. And they're located around the building and will be tied.
This is probably an appropriate time also to tell you where this park is. It is located in Northfield. The main east-west road in Northfield is called Willow Road. And there are exits for it off of the Edens Expressway as well as 294. This park is located approximately a half a mile west of the Edens Expressway on the south side of Willow Road. And if you're coming westbound on Willow, there's a street along the eastern edge of this park called Bristol Street. And you can turn left there in order to come to the park. Parking is generally okay. The street that's along the south side area beyond the houses is called Bosworth. You might have to park on that, but there generally will be plenty. Usually there's enough parking for everybody there. But as I say, it's in North. If you're coming from the west, in other words, if you're coming from Glenview or Northbrook or from 294, what you can do is when you pass Wagner Road, which is a stoplight, just beyond it, the streets are alphabetical, except for that one, of course. There's Eaton Street, and then there's Dickens, and then Churchill. If you turn right heading south on Churchill Street, that is the west side of this park. So that's where it is. It's in Northfield, about a half a mile west of the Edens Expressway.
Okay, great. Yeah, and I guess I should mention too, on that South Street, you're parallel parking against the park there. So you'll see people kind of partly in the street and partly in the grass area there. And that seems to be okay. So if you get there and you see that, know that that's legal, you're fine. Okay, so we still need I guess 6-meter operator mainly for FT8. And I know we do have some FT8 members here. Looking at one there. But yeah, we need someone who can operate the mainly FT8. So we're looking for operator for that. So if you're interested in operating 6 meters, FT8, please contact us and we'll add you to the list and explain exactly what's involved as far as operating that station. And then we also need someone who could lead the soundproofing. So like inside the building, for the CW operators, I believe you put up some sound.
Yeah,
material.
where the phone station is. Now, we do have a field house building that we do have the 2 CW stations and the phone station inside of. In case it's 95 degrees, and I'm happy to report it is air conditioned. But at any rate, we do have nothing more than, I forget what the soundproofing is made of, but they're basically tarps that are put up on the windows. It's to deaden the sound. There's a lot of echo and solid material inside the building. So you want to kind of deaden that a little bit. And that shouldn't be too difficult to do or take very long.
Yeah, it's like hanging curtains. So.
Exactly.
You don't have to be really good at it, but it's like hanging curtains. So this is the information for our sign up and contact folks here. So you got Udo, there's communications at northshoreradioclub.org, Brian at the programs, and myself. Doesn't show my email address there, but if you go to QRZ, you will definitely find my email. So feel free to go there and pull my email from that from QRZ. Alwyn, who's the vice president of the organization, you can just send him an email to the vice president at northshoreradioclub.org. And like I said, our next Zoom meeting where we'll include all the captains as far as organizing the event and so forth will take place June 16th. I believe that's at 7:30, or I believe it's 7:30 or 6:30.
7 maybe.
I think it's
but
7.
I'd have to look.
7:30.
7:30. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
7:30.
right. 7:30 is correct.
Yeah. And then the sign-up sheets are on the website. So if you go to our North Shore Radio Club.
Just go in the sign-up sheets, you should have a link in the last minute for the sideband station sign-up.
Okay.
The volunteer sign-up is on the website.
Okay. Volunteer sign-ups on the website. And the other one is.
And this is special link, so we
Okay.
want to expose it so that they.
Okay. So when they click on that link, they will have to.
When you get it in the last emitter, I send out a link. When you click on the link, you go to the Google Sheet where you enter your call sign and your name in the specific slot you want to operate. There's still some slots open on Sunday morning, like somewhere between 8 and 10, I think, or something like that.
Okay. I don't know if the people online heard that, but we have.
They did.
Okay. We have some spots for signing up for operating on Sunday morning.
Sunday morning, yes.
Sunday morning. When you click on the link to do that sign up, it'll ask you for your.
Yeah, and this is important. This is the sideband station we're talking about. The 2 CW stations, I think, are all full.
full.
They're full. Yeah,
Okay.
they've got everybody.
Okay, so anybody online who has any questions about Field Day, send an email to fieldday@northshoreradioclub.org.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. And I think there was a question Dick asked earlier about what are those positions we need to fill. And actually, they're highlighted here, and I think we talked about it earlier, but that's the soundproofing. We need a volunteer for that, the captain to lead that, and the 6-meter station. So if you're interested in those operating or helping out with those 2 stations, please contact us. We'd love to have you, and I'm sure we'll have someone who can guide you as far as what needs to be done. So if you're kind of a little nervous or don't know if you want to do it, but say I don't know how to do it, don't worry. I'm sure we'll have someone in the club who's done it before that can give you some instructions on how to
Absolutely.
carry that out.
Yes.
All right, and then with that, we're at the Q&A session, so we'll open the floor for any questions you may have. And I guess the Zoom folks there in Zoom land, if you have any questions, I guess use the chat, and one of these 2 gentlemen, either Brian or Mark, will relay the questions.
I am reading the chat, no chat messages yet, but otherwise, everybody out there, if you want to speak, just unmute your mic and
Okay.
the line is open.
One thing I'd like to add is, it's an interesting range of participation in field day. Some groups are sort of contest club groups, and I put them over here on this side of the spectrum. And they're contesters, and points are points, and that's all they care about are the contacts. But then at the other end of the spectrum, you've got the more social outing where you have a keg of beer, maybe a radio set up and available to operate. Maybe somebody will get on it once in a while. And then everywhere in between. We're kind of in the sort of the middle to the well, we do well. So we're maybe a little bit biased toward the contest side. But the important thing is we have a really good time. Our field day is about as social a field day as any of them are. And yet we do well. Last year, we were in the top 1 percentile of scores that were reported to the ARRL. And there were 4,315, I think, competitors that sent scores to the ARRL, of which ours was one. And we came in, I think, I'm trying to remember, 28th or something like that. It's on the website. And actually, if you look up NS9RC on QRZ.com, there's a section in there that also has this information.
We have 2 questions on chat.
Okay.
Yes.
And interestingly enough, both questions come from a person named Don, different Dons. What call sign will we use at the field day station?
We will be using, thank you, Norb. We'll be using K9SS, Kilowatt 9 Sierra Sierra.
Okay, and another Don has commented, I think it would be fun if someone brought an old tube receiver, maybe your novice receiver,
Boat anchor.
hooked up to a piece of wire to it, and let people see how we did, what equipment we used 50 to 60 years ago.
Oh, interesting.
Well, that actually is kind of a neat idea, and if anybody has a receiver of that type that they'd like to bring and plug in and turn on, that would be fun to hear. So,
Yeah, we'll need some help with carrying the boat anchor, but yeah, that would be great. I think that would be pretty cool especially for the kids. They'll probably love to see that. Saturday evening, the dinner.
It's also, we forgot to mention, but Saturday night, we will be providing dinner to everybody that's there. I don't know what time it will start. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
6
Okay.
o'clock.
Yeah, around 6 o'clock, we will have a variety of gourmet foods available for you. From Malnati's Pizza, I know is one of the providers. Portillo's, I believe, is another one of the providers. And I can't remember what else we'll be doing. But at any rate, dinner will be provided. So hopefully you not only will come out and join us and have a fun afternoon on Saturday and also Friday setting up and finishing the setup Saturday morning, but stick around for dinner at 6 o'clock.
This one's from me. Goda, talk about GOTA because
Okay.
those are also
Yeah.
points for
Safe
us.
station.
Well, it is. And the ARRL, who is of course sponsoring this event, is really hot to trot to encourage people to use the Get on the Air station. And that is the fourth station. As I mentioned earlier, we're 3A. So we do have three regular stations running for the whole 24 hours. But the special station is called the GOTA or Get on the Air station is designed for anybody who's not a ham to give it a try. But equally important, even if you are a licensed ham and even if you have been a licensed ham for a long time, but have never tried CW, or if you've never tried FT8 or anything like that, or if you're just plain kind of inactive and you don't operate on HF, if you basically operate all VHF and UHF only, you are a perfect candidate to sit down and operate this station. And here is the incentive. Every phone contact our phone station makes gets 1 point. Every CW contact our CW stations get 2 points per contact. And we get 2 points per contact for any digital contact we make. If you are eligible to sit down and operate the GOTA station, we get five points per contact. And it's absolutely amazing how somebody who's never really talked on a HF mic before often gets the hang of it, and then they get really going. And if you find a frequency where you can call CQ and people start calling you back and you work them as quickly as you can and move on to the next guy and the next guy, that 5 points per shot really adds up. And then if the individual that's operating the station happens to be 18 years of age or less, we actually get bonus points. So if you know people that would like to give ham radio a try, especially if they're, in the 18 and younger group, I would encourage you to invite them to come on out and join us. Now, the Get on the Air station is not just, here's a radio, get on and get on. There will be somebody there to help you do it, show you how to do it, get you the idea how it works and, the timing and to get used to operating it. So you won't be on your own. There'll be somebody there to help you. And my favorite story was years ago, we had a young man sit down and he was, I think, seventh or eighth grade, seventh grade. Okay. And I happened to be the mentor on duty at the time. And he sat down and I told him kind of how to do it. We found a frequency that was open and I said, this is what you do. And I taught him how to call CQ. And I said, when they call you back, then you tell them you give them a call, give them the 3A and give them Illinois, and then they'll give you what their report is. And I said, part of this is not only remembering what to say, but also the timing of when you throw out our call and when you respond and all this sort of thing. So that took him a little bit to get used to, but he got it. And boy, did he take off and did he do well. Well, he turned out he was attending the middle school in Glencoe. And after that, he went out and got his license. He not only got his license, but he went all the way to extra. And it was just a fun story.
Oh, family.
Well, that's the last part I'm going to mention is his parents were standing there, and I've never seen a happier set of parents with a big smile on their face as they were watching him get into this and really, really enjoy it. It was very, very impressive and tremendous amount of fun for me. But as I say, if you've been an inactive ham or if you've got some modes you've never tried, you, believe it or not, are a perfect candidate to sit down and give the GOTA station
Now,
a try.
Don, how long is inactive mean? Is it 1 year, 2
If
years?
you've been inactive for a couple years, then you're eligible. Yeah, Marty?
1 year?
1 year. Okay, 1 year.
1
Okay.
year. Okay.
Yeah. So if you've been inactive for a year,
Yeah.
you're an eligible operator.
Yeah. So bring your grand.
Or if you haven't worked a band, that's right. That's right. If you've never worked, let's say the 15-meter band, for example, here's a golden opportunity to give it a try.
Right.
So
So bring your grandchildren. your enemies, your friends, families. No.
Yeah.
Your wife.
Yeah.
All right, no wives, no
Are there,
midgets.
okay, are there any other questions? Oh, okay. Clarkson Park is really a wonderful park in Northfield. Now, I'm a little biased because I live in Northfield, but the park has a playground to it, a really very, very nice playground. And included in that playground is a water park with lots of things that you have a child that wants to run around in a bathing suit. They've got all these sprays that spray up from the ground, and it's really very cool. So it is something you can bring younger children to if you want to, and they'll have a lot of fun with that, I assure you. So that's a very good point. Any other questions?
Comments?
Okay.
Thoughts? No? Okay. All right. I think that concludes this part of the presentation.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll get an opportunity to see you guys on field day, either setting up or that Saturday or Sunday. You can make it out, even just a few hours, or an hour, anytime, if you can come out to spend a little bit of time with the club, that'll be great. So carve out some time on your schedule and come by and check out the operations.
Sure. Absolutely.
Very
Very good.
All right. So I guess I'll turn it back over.
Before we adjourn, does anyone have anything they'd like to talk about or complain about or et cetera? No? Okay. In that case, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for coming and see you at field day. Oh, what? Oh, yes. In July, we have the fox hunt. So there won't be a physical meeting here. It'll be in the Glen someplace to be announced. And we'll have at least one fox, maybe two, depending on the volunteer situation. And it's always a lot of fun. There'll be two. Marty just informed me there'll be two. So. And I would be remiss. Okay. Thank you all.